All right, good morning. We'll get started here. My name is Mike Craig. With GeckoTech Solutions, and today we're going to talk about cybersecurity myths. The world of cybersecurity is kind of riddled with myths and dangerous misconceptions that can leave your business vulnerable to attacks. So it's time to separate like the fact from the fiction and arm yourself with the truth. Let's begin by taking a close look at some of the important aspects of cybersecurity. As you all know, and I've talked about, cybersecurity is the backbone of your digital protection and resilience. It safeguards your sensitive data, preventing financial loss, and maintaining your customers' trust and your reputation. It ensures business continuity and facilitates compliance with regulatory requirements, meaning that for your particular business vertical, these are the things that you have to do in order to be compliant. By investing in robust cybersecurity measures, you gain a competitive advantage of everybody else in your industry because you shield your supply chain and you future-proof your organization against existing and emerging threats. In essence, cybersecurity is a critical component of your risk management strategy. It's essential to protect your business assets, your reputation, your customer trust, and ultimately drive long-term business success. So would you be okay with structuring your cybersecurity strategy around myths or half-baked truths? Probably not, because it'd be like driving without your GPS or with incorrect directions to get to your destination. Therefore, let's get into here and debunk the top 12 myths that could create confusion and clutter in your journey to improve security. So let's talk about myth number one. And before we get into the myths, if you have any comments, concerns, or questions, please type them in the Q&A, and we'll do our best to answer those as we go along. We don't have to keep those till the end. And then if you have something that you really want to dig deep into, we can stay a little later and address those with you as well. So myth number one, cybersecurity threats only come from the outside. Maybe you've taken the time to fortify your business against external threats, but what if the dangers really lurk from within? I mean, insider threats, it's not just a buzzword, it's a growing menace that can silently destroy your business from the inside out. Let's face it, the people in your business have the access that they need to take what they need and wreak havoc. So, whether intentional, such as a disgruntled employee seeking revenge, or unintentional, like a well-meaning worker accidentally leaving sensitive data or leaking it, maybe using ChatGPT and not turning off the, teach the model button, and they paste all your financial data in there, or customer data, right? These threats can be even more dangerous than what comes from the outside. The people the people with insider threat are stealthy. They often go unnoticed before everything snowballs into a major crisis that causes financial loss, reputation damage, and breach of trust with your clients. So don't let your employees become your major vulnerability. Implement rigorous policies and procedures, conduct regular training, and ensure strict access controls to safeguard your business from the inside. Myth number two, the size of a small organization could make it more appealing, not less. My organization is too small to be a target is completely false. Cybersecurity criminals are like skilled hunters and they target easy prey. Small businesses often lack the layers of defense, the dollars to invest that larger companies have in making it easier for them to breach small business systems, steal sensitive data, and wreak havoc. Don't let your business become the next easy catch. Invest in comprehensive cybersecurity measures to protect your data, reputation, and future. Myth number three. Well, I've got antivirus installed. Relying on a single layer of protection is like trusting one padlock to secure a vault full of treasures. Most security boxes at the bank, they've got two keys, one you have and one the bank has. Sure, an antivirus, might stop some threats. Well, what happens when the new sophisticated attacks slip through? And let me tell you, like, there are toolkits out there that are put together, and all these folks need to do is put in a list of people to send these emails to, and it's all done for them. Sets up the landing pages and everything that they need to capture client data with their attacks. So they're using AI to do this and they're getting better every day. Your business needs to have a multi-layered approach to cybersecurity, much like the Swiss cheese model, right? Even one layer has a hole, a vulnerability. The other layers will cover it, protecting your business from potential breaches. Firewalls, encryptions, multi-factor authentication, regular updates, employee training, all these play critical roles in defending your digital assets. Myth number four, phishing scams are easy to spot. I just So I've got a good story to tell with this that happened last week. But the days of poorly spelled emails from unknown senders are long and gone. I mean, they still happen, but they're few and far in between. Like I said, the AI makes everything smarter. The emails look more real. Today's phishing attacks are hidden in plain sight. They're highly sophisticated, deceptive, and meticulous scams that trick even the most well-trained users. They exploit trust, urgency, and our natural tendency to respond quickly to important messages. That's why it's more important than ever to stay vigilant. Train your employees to recognize the subtle signs of phishing and implement email security solutions that can flag suspicious messages before they reach your inbox. So I had a customer the other day call me and say, "Hey, Mike, we've got this email that, this is a new customer. They want to do business with us and they're sending us their requirements. And they sent it through some sort of mail transfer service for them to download a file." And he called me and says, "I don't think this is legit. Can you check it out?" And there's nothing wrong with the transferring solution. That by itself is a great tool to securely transfer files. However, it's what you download that becomes the problem. And the names didn't match. I mean, just subtle differences. But like I said, they're getting more and more difficult to spot and more, I guess the best word for it is sophisticated using AI. Myth number 5. More tools mean better cybersecurity. The quest to protect your business, right? The more things that we throw at it, the better it's going to be. It's easy to fall into that trap of thinking that more is always better. More tools, more software, but that means more security, right? I mean, if we throw all this stuff at it, it should be more secure. But cybersecurity isn't a numbers game, it's about strategy. You need to focus on building a cohesive security strategy that has playbooks and that it addresses your specific risks rather than amassing this hodgepodge of tools that can overlap or even conflict with each other. More isn't always better. Myth number 6. Cybersecurity is solely my IT provider's responsibility. In many organizations, there's a dangerous misconception that cybersecurity is something that only the IT team needs to worry about. Well, the truth is your business needs to lock down from the top down, meaning that every single employee has a part from the CEO to the newest intern. They all play a role in keeping your business safe from cyber threats. When everyone in the organization is aware of security's best practices, your policies, your procedures, the chances of a breach occurring diminish significantly. Empower your team with the knowledge and tools they need to be cybersecurity champions. Conduct regular training sessions, encourage open communication, and foster a culture of vigilance and responsibility. So this reminds me of the incident that happened with Nashville Metropolitan Public Schools, where they had the BEC compromise, where the company they were working with got hacked and they sent this school some mails from the company's email address saying, hey, we need to change our bank accounts to this number, so wire our money here. And they wired off approximately close to $496,000 to a malicious actor. So having policy in place and training users would have prevented that scenario from occurring. Myth number 7, we don't need outside help with our cybersecurity. Digital landscape is constantly evolving. New threats are emerging every day. In fact, this morning I heard about Lockbit 5 and it threw my whole game off with my presentation that I was going to do at my networking meeting. So I adapted, pivoted, and talked about it. But going it alone can leave you vulnerable because these sophisticated attacks outpace your internal resources. Even the most skilled in-house IT teams can see some benefit from the expertise and insight of seasoned cybersecurity professionals. These are people who invest lots of time in doing research to make sure that your strengths or your defenses are strengthened. And in partnering with external experts, it doesn't mean you're admitting defeat. You're doing what's good for your business. You're asking for help. Myth number 8, we're in the cloud, so we're safe. So the cloud is evolving and it's a powerful tool. It offers flexibility, scalability. It's really easy to save files and get files and data that you need anywhere you're at. But like any tool, you need to use it with caution. Just because your data is in the cloud doesn't mean it's immune to attacks. The cloud introduces a new set of challenges that you must address, as in data breaches and configurations, like misconfigurations and unauthorized access, are just a few of the risks of cloud computing. One that's a very common is that your end user or your employee will share a document from OneDrive and it will be shared to everyone forever. Well, the problem with that is you intentionally shared it with the person who got the information, and now it's still out there for everyone to access because it's shared with everyone forever, rather than sharing it with an individual and putting a time limit on it. So it's easy to assume that you're doing the right thing, and sometimes you just need some policy and procedure around that to help protect you. Your cloud provider isn't handling everything for you. The truth is that you're still responsible for securing your data, and that includes backups. Microsoft and Google do not back up your data. In fact, all of their agreements to use their services state that you're responsible for backing up your data. Myth number 9, changing passwords frequently is enough. Yes, changing passwords regularly is crucial, but you need to go much deeper to formulate a complete cybersecurity strategy. Cybersecurity criminals are highly sophisticated and they use advanced techniques like phishing, social engineering, brute force attacks, and others to bypass password protections. Strong cybersecurity frameworks require multiple layers of defense, multi-factor authentication, encryption, regular software updates, employee training. We talked about that, right? All essential elements that protect your business from a wide range of threats. This here's a YubiKey. You can use that instead of a password, and it's a FIDO2 access into your cloud accounts or into your accounts to log into your computer. Way more secure than a password, and then you never have to worry about your passwords. Passkeys is another thing that is newer, and it acts like an Apple keychain, but way more secure. So myth number 10, cybersecurity is too expensive. A data breach can have devastating consequences, lost revenue, damaged trust, and it can be felt for years. So I used to work for a Fortune 500 company that got hit by the original Lockbit, uh, and all their data was encrypted. They had about 15,000 employees that couldn't work but still got paid. So they they lost about 30 days worth of their data because they had to go to backups that were 30 days old because they deleted all their backups in the process. So cost cost wise, they could have probably paid for cybersecurity 10 to 20 times over on the amount of money that they lost, not having the right protections in place. So investing in cybersecurity is like investing in peace of mind. It's a proactive measure to protect your business from unpredictable and potentially catastrophic consequences of a breach. And the key word there is proactive. If you're reacting to events, it's already too late. Your data is compromised and it's most likely in the hands of bad actors. Cybersecurity doesn't have to break the bank either. There are scalable solutions that can be tailored to your needs and fit your budget. Myth number 11, cybersecurity is a one-time investment. The digital landscape out there is a moving target. I mean, you can't define it with certainty because it keeps changing at a breakneck pace. With AI, I mean, it's hard to keep up. This means your cybersecurity strategy needs to consistently evolve as well. So I don't know about other companies, but we have yearly packages and pricing, and we change those every year because the strategy to protect you, our strategy that worked last year doesn't necessarily work in the fall even, let alone the next year. So don't fall into a trap that thinking once you've implemented cybersecurity measures, you're done. This is an ongoing process. Vigilance and adaptation are essential to maintaining your security posture. Updating your tools, and investing in regular reviews, penetration tests, audits of your security policies, of your environment. Keep your software and systems up to date and continue in educating your employees on best practices will definitely play a part in the long run to keep your data safe. Myth number 12. You only look good on paper. Compliance compliance is that thing that I talk about that it's you say what you do what you say, right? And you say what you do. Compliance standards are designed to set a baseline for security, but they don't often go as far as they need to go. Like FTC safeguards or HIPAA compliance, they have these set of requirements. That doesn't necessarily mean that they go far enough to prevent you from being breached or your data from being exploited. They do what's required to a standard. They may tell you what you need to do, but not how to do it effectively. Simply just going down the list and checking the boxes doesn't mean your business is secure. To fully protect your business that contains the sensitive customer data, you must implement robust security practices, policies, and procedures that address your specific risks and vulnerabilities. This means going beyond compliance to build a proactive security framework tailored to your organization's needs. So if you're in need of assistance in implementing cybersecurity measures, we're here to help. We can provide tailored solutions to meet your organization's specific need, help protect your business from emerging threats. And on our website, there's a place where you can book a no obligation penetration test or security audit, and we can have a discussion about how we can support you with your cybersecurity efforts. All right, well, open for questions. If anyone's got any, we can put those in chat. Just another note, we're getting into the holiday season, and the holiday season is when most of your attacks start to happen because people are home, they're out of work, they leave their computers on, and they're unattended. And we're out having fun with our family and doing things, and that definitely adds to the bad actor's ability to get into your computer and do things unnoticed. So pay special attention to the holiday season. Jeff, you had a question. There you go, Jeff.
There, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I just make a comment when you were talking about the internal threats versus the external threats. I had a customer a few years back, a dance studio owner, and she had a lot of young gals, 17, 18, 19 years old, that worked the front counter. and they would always be on her computer, her laptop, where she took her credit card payments, doing web surfing and all that kind of stuff like that. And twice she got hacked, stole all the information out of her computer. She had to go buy a new computer, and 2 days after she installed her new computer, another employee did the same thing, and it toasted a second computer. She was not a happy camper, and it was all because of the didn't have good policies from her own employees.
Yep, your employees are the weakest link. And there's tools that you can put in place that control browsing and even tools that prevent you from entering passwords into a password box. So yes, there's all kinds of things, but that's a story that we frequently hear. Another thing that we can do to protect specifically your industry or customers that use your technology is network segmentation. So in other words, we put their credit card devices on a separate network from their PCs.
Mhm.
And then even on a separate network from, depending, I mean, if they're a home office or a small business, right? They may have other devices in there like TV sets and Alexa playing music in the background. And when's the last time those things were patched, right? So you get those devices off the network as well and isolate all that. So it's network. So
Here's a mix for you on Amazon Music.
Alexa,
Oh,
stop.
There you go. They're
Technology.
always listening.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
wait.
Um, All right, any other questions? All right, everyone can talk if you just unmute yourself. No? Either I did a really good job or I need help. Which one is it?
I think it was the first one, Mike.
All right, all right. Perfect. Thanks, John.
Do you have any thank you for this as well, I want to say. Do you have any horror stories in the last little bit that you can collaborate on that's been going on in the you usually got some nice little stories of some people getting in some trouble and having some problems and just wondering. I know you said it was the holidays and of course that's an increased time to have some troubles and difficulties, but just wondering.
Yeah, no, I mean not particularly any horror stories other than, these two major sources of data have been breached, that being TransUnion and
Do you, sorry to interrupt, do you think there was something up with Amazon? The Amazon cloud thing that happened here a few days ago?
that's a good question. There's
That's a
still
little weird to me.
and Microsoft had some servers go down too. So those two big companies suffering things like that. I don't know. No one's claimed that I've heard responsibility for it, but it definitely could be some sort of um, outside or even inside attack. So
Yeah, it really seems like it just came and left and got swept under the rug, kind of
yeah,
thing.
that's purely speculation though. Like I said, there's nothing out there on
Yeah.
that. But I do know with the bad words. So I'll start using a bad word. The breaches, right? The progression of time from breach to class action lawsuit is kind of getting really quick. Like AT&T got breached in July of 2024. The class action lawsuit came out in October. TransUnion got breached in August of 2024, right? TransUnion got breached in 2025, August, and the class action lawsuit was filed in September. So that just shows you that there's these lawyers and they're following around these companies that are getting breached and they're going out to their clients and going, hey, you deserve compensation for the fact that they exposed your data, even though it's been exposed 100 times, right? Like I did a series on how to freeze your credit report. And if you haven't watched that, maybe I'll repost some of the how to freeze your credit report piece, but that's important because your data's out there. The NDP, National Public Data, NPD, they're the ones who do all the background checks for every company in the United States. So all of your data is out there. They were breached. Then there's just TransUnion. I mean, they've got a bunch of people's information out there with that. So freezing your credit report allows you to keep people from applying for credit cards that have your information or opening credit in your name, and doesn't affect your ability to go get credit, because when you want to go apply for credit, you just turn off the freeze and then apply for credit and then turn the freeze back on once your credit's approved. So I recommend everybody has their credit frozen. Freeze it for your children, freeze it for your parents, your grandparents, right? Just take care of them and get that stuff locked down. The last thing you want is someone to have a bunch of accounts open in their name. But yeah, it's not really horror stories. It's just a lot of leaked data lately.
Yeah. Scary stuff.
Yeah. Well, anybody else?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't hear you anymore. You've muted, Jeff.
Oh, okay. Now can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, back quite a few years ago, I don't know if you remember this, but Dave and Buster's had a major hack. They actually got it twice. And I distinctly remember the one time the scammer, he did some homework, found out the names of certain vice presidents of, and hot tech support, director of tech support, whatever it was. He calls in, says, "Yeah, I'm working with," and he named these names. And I said, "I'm working with so and so and so and so on this project." And they said to get a hold of you so that you could let me into the system because I'm doing some maintenance and work for them. Totally hacked their system. The guy goes, "Okay." Over the phone, he just gave the guy the access. And
Yep.
they got a huge data breach, and it cost them a lot of money. And then they turned around and did it again. They had a second one about it, I think, a year later. And
That's very common too. That's a social engineering attack.
yeah,
Yep. That's why you need to be careful what you post on social media, because they can use that against you.
sure.
Yep. Anything else? Cliff, Amanda, Jody?
Yeah, I'm here. No questions. I'm just listening.
Okay, no questions?
Nope.
All right, awesome.
Hi, Miss Jody.
Hi, everybody. I was a little late joining. I'm sorry. I was on telephone conference. Anyways, did a good job though, Michael. What I heard.
Thank you. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, I've got nothing else to share, so we can I'll be on our way. I really appreciate everyone spending their lunch with me, or beginning of lunch with me. And
Well,
listen.
we thank you. Thank you for putting it all together for us, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Michael.
happy to do it.
Thank you, sir. Took notes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye now.